Our 2011 legends. Miss Marjorie Szabo was born in Keefton, Oklahoma, at her grandparents' home in the back of her local grocery store. Her family remained in Keefton until they moved to Muskogee when she was 16 years old. She has loved living, working, and raising her family in Muskogee. Marjorie shared her passion for the Muskogee area, working on the staff for several civic organizations and managing the Muskogee Civic Center after its completion in 1967. She spent 16 years with the Muskogee Chamber of Commerce as administrative assistant and the office manager. Marjorie says she enjoyed the chamber more than any other career. Yes, Marjorie. Working with business people in the community to create a better business environment for Muskogee. Miss Szabo has been retired for many years, but has been called a professional volunteer. Marjorie has spent countless hours volunteering for the Tourist Information Center, the Muskogee Garden Club, and numerous other organizations, including the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame. She is very passionate about the arts, dedicating much of her time and talents to furthering the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame and Museum in Muskogee and Muskogee Little Theater. Her positive attitude and get it done mentality have inspired younger women for many years. Marjorie Szabo. Our next legend I want you to meet is Miss Leona Mitchell. Leona Mitchell has emerged as one of America's most beloved and celebrated sopranos. Miss Mitchell spent 18 seasons as a leading, now you're going to have to help me, S-P-I-N-T-O, soprano at the Metropolitan Opera in New York, where she essayed, is that right? All right. I don't want to get these opera terms wrong because I'm such a fan. Many dramatic and lyrical roles. Miss Mitchell has sung for U.S. Presidents Reagan, Ford, Carter, Clinton, and Bush Sr. when he was vice president. Leona sang at some of the world's most prestigious opera houses all over the world and has collaborated with many of the world's greatest conductors and their symphonies. She is a highly regarded recitalist, having been presented in concert at New York's Lincoln Center, the Kennedy Center, the Los Angeles Music Center, and concert halls in Geneva, Sydney, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Barcelona, Paris, and Australia. Also making appearances on television and starring with Pavarotti in a film called Yes, Georgia. Her fellow Oklahomans have bestowed on her awards from the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, the Jazz Hall of Fame, and the Oklahoma Women's Hall of Fame. In 2003, Governor Brad Henry named her Oklahoma's Cultural Ambassador. Leona holds a bachelor's degree in music from OCU and 2 honorary doctorates, one from OU and the other one from OCU. Miss Mitchell also attended the master's program at the Juilliard School of Music. Leona is married to Elmer Bush, who is also her manager. They have one son, Elmer Bush IV. Help me in welcoming our next legend, Miss Ann Barker-Ong. Currently serves as Vice President of CCOM Medical Group and is actively involved in various community groups. She has served on the Bacone College Board of Trustees since 2001 and has served as its chair since 2007. She is a member of the Greater Muskogee Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and serves on the Success Expo and Vision Committee. Beyond serves, she chaired the Success Expo Committee this year. Ann was born and educated in Kentucky, graduating from Eastern Kentucky University with a Bachelor of Arts degree. She taught English at schools in Kentucky and West Virginia before moving to Muskogee with her husband, Yisi Ong, MD, a cardiologist, in 1979. They have one daughter, Jasmine, and one son, Emil. Anne is an avid supporter for the development of the arts and culture in Muskogee and advocates for access to the arts for everyone. She is a member of the Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition and a supporter of Muskogee Little Theater, the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, the Five Civilized Tribes Museum, and the Three Rivers Museum. She is also an avid reader and a member of the New Century Club, a club that was established in Muskogee, Indian Territory in September 1902, as well as being a champion of the New Muskogee Public Library Project and a member of its building committee. Ong holds a master's from Long Island University in New York and an honorary doctorate from Bacone College. Miss Anne Barker Ong. Help me welcome our next legend, Miss ShIronbutterfly Ray. Is the founder and director and programmer of the Bare Bones International Independent Film and Music Festival, the Bare Bones Script-to-Screen Independent Film Festival and Screenwriting Conference, and the Bare Bones SoonerCon Sci-Fi Horror Film Festivals. She has over 13 years of progressive training and experience in the motion picture industry, working on more than 20 productions as producer, casting director, production manager, sound supervisor, production designer, makeup, and effects artist, marketing and public relations consultant. She has been an actress in more than 9 independent movies. ShIron is involved in finding innovative methods to educate, motivate, and train the next generation of filmmakers, actors, writers, directors, and crews. ShIron holds a master's degree in education from Pepperdine University, a bachelor's degree in psychology and behavioral sciences from the California State University, Dominez, did I say that right, ShIron? Hills, and numerous certifications in financial services and marketing. She is constantly involved in continuous research of all aspects of the motion picture industry, both major and independent. Ladies, this is our 2011 Legends. Okay, what we've asked them to do, we've given them a series of questions. We're going to give them each 2 minutes to answer that question. We're going to go down the line and let them answer them for you. Our timer is Miss Alicia right there, and let's hear that buzzer.
She's got it muted.
That's perfect. When you hear that ring, ladies, you're done. So if we don't do that, we'll be here all day because we want to hear all you've got to say. So we've got to time your answers. And we're going to start with our very first question for the Legends. What major moment in your life led you down your leadership path?
And that would be me. Okay, first of all, let me just say this. I know there was an email that had those questions on it. And I really wish I had chance to. But I figured that I sort of know me. And that one moment, there's so many moments, but I really think it was when I was in college and I got my first big job at the post office. $2.74 an hour and sorting mail for 4 hours a day so that I could help pay for my college education. I decided that that was not what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And I sort of feel that's a defining moment if I look at the body of all of the things I've done, and I've done a lot, because I knew that there was something more I was supposed to do. I always knew that I was to be a teacher, and I didn't think of terms like leadership back then, just that I would help others to learn some of the things that I had learned and would keep them from being punished if they didn't get to do it. So I knew then that working a meticulous, routine, boring, over and over the same thing was not for me. So I set out to continue my education and started volunteering to do just about anything. run for beauty queen. Be president of a club. Spanish, no, I can't speak Spanish, but I could give orders. You can do that in English. So let's just say that really kicked me into gear, that I wasn't going to just be another cog in the wheel, that there was something special I needed to do. And that was really the biggest catalyst.
Thank you.
Well, I agree with Ron. It's really hard to find one particular point that you think is the turning point. It's like there were a million little things along the way that led to getting to where I am now. But when I was very young, from the time I was old enough to talk, actually, I wanted to be a teacher. And I was a teacher for a period of time. I actually even thought that I might have as many as 14 children that I might adopt and take care of, because I was actually born sort of on the cusp of the baby boom generation, so I'm not going to do the math for you, but I'm on the wave that's starting the baby boom, the boomers right now. So during the early years of my life, I loved school. I went to school early. My father worked 2 jobs, and when he came home at night, I was still up doing homework, and we talked about, you know, a great future, what I was going to do, and how his working 2 jobs was helping the family. And then my father died when I was 16, and that, I guess, would have to be the turning point. I helped my mother raise the rest of our family. I was the oldest one of 5 children. I was the last one to marry. I was the last one to have children, so I tell them I must be younger than they are because I have the youngest children. But I think that was the turning point, having to help take over the responsibility for a family. My mother was 37 years old with 5 children, 16 and under, to raise. So she really began to rely on me a lot to help with family at that point. And seeing her do the things that she did and knowing what I had to do, I guess that was it.
Well, I think the major moment for me, coming from Enid, Oklahoma, was a devoted and wonderful high school choral teacher by the name of Miss Freebie, who heard my voice in her choir, and she literally took me under her wings and made sure that I listened to my first opera. She had wanted to be an opera singer, but because of family obligations, she didn't pursue it. And so she saw that in my voice, and she literally would pick me up every day at 7 o'clock to teach me this opera that I listened to. And it was of the most 2 famous singers that I know at the time. In the 60s, it was Maria Callas and Leontyne Price, and those are the first 2 opera singers I ever heard of. What an example. Wow. But anyways, so that's saying a lot about mentors, how important they are in your life. This was her dream, and I remember when I sang in New York at the Met, when she came, all she did was cry the whole. I don't even think she saw me. She was just amazed that this little girl from Enid, and I guess singing at the Met is like an Academy Award or something, an opera. And stuff better. So she was just beside herself for that. And I think that was when she. Oh, and I have a wonderful story. I'm from one of 15 children. I am the 10th child. My father was a minister, and my mom was a nurse. But I don't know when she got to be a nurse, but she had all of us. And I remember I was at one of those presidential fundraisers, and Ford was there.